Let's stand here only so that everybody can see the projector. Are we good to go? Good morning, everybody. My name is Nisha D'Souza, and I'm the president of Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club. And it is a very nice thing that we have like organized this joint session. I would like to appreciate Rohan for coming out to me and for collaborating with us, because we also would like to network and know our fellow Toastmasters. So thank you so much, Rohan. Thank you for making this possible today. So the joint meeting for the benefit of the guests, joint meeting is like two Toastmasters club, mostly who are in like a proximity, nearest proximity. They try to come together and conduct a Toastmasters meeting, and the role players are half from one club and half from the other club. That you will see through the course of the meeting. But before that, thank you so much everybody for coming on a Sunday morning, getting up, taking all the efforts to dress up and come and show for the meeting, and also for everybody who has joined us online. I'm really thankful to all of you for coming here, and I hope everybody you enjoy this meeting, and all of us together make this meeting a success, and we learn, because Toastmasters is actually people of like-minded people coming together and learning with a lot of fun. So now I'd like to move to the guest addresses. We have a few guests here in the crowd. So Milton, hi Milton, please come forward. Can we please like clap for him?
This. Okay. Hi everyone. So this is my second session. Last time was the first session I attended online. I'm looking forward to getting to learn. Like Misha said, the whole idea is to collaborate, network, and learn and improve our, presenting skills, speaking skills. So that's the reason why I joined the Toastmasters. And what I was telling Misha is, until like maybe a month ago, I didn't even know something like this existed. It was during a one-on-one with my boss in my office is when he mentioned this to me, and I thought, okay, this is something that I've been probably looking for, where we can, meet people, speak, and enhance our skills, and this kind of like the universe conspired to get it to me through my boss. So that's how I reached the Toastmasters Club. So that's, yeah. Anything else you want me to add? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you have a great time. Moving on, we have Pradeep. Yes, Pradeep, please come forward. No, the projector. Hi, Pradeep. Thank you so much for coming. Would you please like to introduce yourself to the guests?
Good morning, everyone. I am Pradeep Kumar Das. I am working with Central Bank of India. Recently, I came to know the concept of Toastmaster through, I think, Instagram. When Mr. Tanmay contact me, then I have the problem that couldn't find a correct word. So I thought that it may be the right platform to improve my personality development and spoken English. So with this platform, I am what to tell? I'm moving forward and want to improve my skill through my friends, and let us hope that how much I can improve.
Thank you so much, Pradeep. I hope you take a lot from this meeting and I hope you enjoy this meeting as well. So now we are done with the guest addresses. I believe now we should start the meeting, and obviously every Toastmasters meeting starts with the star. So I would now like to invite our star Tanmay. Tanmay, please come forward.
Yeah, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you in this joint meeting by Mumbai Speakers Toastmaster Club and Chatterati Toastmaster Club. So my name is Toastmaster Tanmay, and today I'm playing the role of Sergeant at Arms. So it's my responsibility to make sure that we run the meeting smoothly. And before we begin with the meeting, let's establish the ground rules. So I would request everyone sitting here to put their mobile phones on silent mode. I'll give 30 seconds to do so. Everyone? Okay, I think so. People have already done it. Next, we have as a Toastmaster, we don't speak on topics like sex, politics, religion. So I would request everyone to refrain on discussing on topics like these. Third is don't cross talk when someone is talking. It would be better if you can listen to each speaker and evaluator properly. Next is, just give me a second. Now, I would like to remind everyone about the mission of our Toastmaster clubs. We are here to provide a supportive and helpful, positive learning experience wherein our members are empowered to improve their communication and leadership skills, thereby. Yeah, leading to greater self-confidence and personal growth. So let's make the most out of the meeting. And I will hand it over to Toastmaster Rohan, who is our Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Big applause for our Sergeant at Arms for wonderfully starting the meeting. And welcome to meeting number 102 and meeting number 264 for Chatterati Toastmasters Club. And thank you all for coming on Sunday, again dressing up and coming. It is quite early for us because usually our meeting is after 2 o'clock. And we, at least for me, I had to wake up early to prepare and come here. So thank you everyone for joining. Let's begin with today's topic, which is a lighthouse within the topic itself. I know everyone's has some bit idea of what it is, but in general, I have a question which I would like to put forward to you. The question is that what do you think makes people move? In a sense, like this question is something which bothers philosophers a lot, right? Philosophers, psychologists, that what makes a person get from his bed and move, aside from the hunger and lack of shelter and safety things. Aside from them, how does a person takes decision? On what basis the person moves? Motivation. Right. Purpose, goals, motivations. And purpose, goals, and motivations are based on what? Like, how do you say that, okay, this is the purpose you should build, or you should have a purpose like this? So these are based on what? Vision.
One, like, one, 2 seconds, another thing, for that we have going. So, then the motivation of only.
So if you just see the nature of the society, even if you want things, quite often you don't get it. And you don't get it for a variety of reasons. And ultimately, the problem is that our society is left demotivated. And motivated in the sense is because there are a lot of factors involved in getting those things. Suppose I need a lot of money, right? I can't go around killing people and stealing from people to get that money, although I can do that. Like, who's stopping me to do that other than the law? But law is an imagined order. We have created it. It doesn't exist, something like gravity. So in that sense, the problem which people face is the getting demoralized and then stop working, stop getting up. And now we have to make them or do something or give inherent some teachings so that the person gets up. So what is that one thing in general? What do you think it is? The most important. All right, so I'll just answer that for you. And the one thing which is the most important thing is values. And values is often, although I'm sure everyone has heard of it, everybody has learned about it, yet no one knows about it. And the reason is because it is a difficult and complex topic. You see, values is very important. The reason it is important is that it is very implicit in everyday life. It is something you get up for. It is something you take decisions based on. Your values, my values might be different. Or it might be same, but the hierarchy of order might be different. As in, I might value honesty more, you might value self-preservation more, right? That doesn't mean you are not honest, but the value system is here and there. Problem is that on what basis are you deriving values? So on what basis do you think that okay, values these are the values and these values actually exist? And before we answer that, first let's question whether values exist or not.
I think it.
Right, but how do you know that it exists? Or anyone else would like to answer? Hmm. Great. I understand. So he means to say that we have also created values for ourselves so that we can live in a society and function it properly, right? And anyone else would like to go have any other opinions about this? The society. All right. So this was like one question which people try to go into whether values exist or not. And oftentimes, if you see and if you really, really notice that values is something which you've been taught to since childhood till date from every places. Like even a child is being learned values and morals through education, through the TV serials and whatever books he is reading. Even right now, you in your life are learning values. People are presenting you values. Ki ye karo, do this, be honest, be hardworking, be infinite values are there. So the child, usually how do we teach child that, you do this because God has said this or because religion, traditions, and that is how we follow it. So a child has to question this. What if there is no God and what not getting into the religious aspect of it, but what if there is no, does that mean there is no values? And if there is no values, that means that even if you lie or even if you cheat or something like that, so there is no morally wrong things which would make you a bad person per se. As in, you will be a bad person only for the society, right? But as your own consciousness, you are not corrupted because there is nothing like moral. So this is a concept which a philosopher, if you might have heard of it, Friedrich Nietzsche, explored towards this. And he explored in his the famous book, famous quote, which says that God is dead. And in that quote specifically, he goes to this, that if God is dead, then there is no source for values. And if there is no values, then there cannot be a society. And we are moving towards a society which inherently doesn't really adhere to the morals and traditions and all values. Now it takes time to crumble. You see, the foundation is your values, and now suppose the foundation is gone, as in values is gone. It will take time to crumble. Russia did not fall overnight, right? It took years to fall. So now the thing is that it will start crumbling. Your values will start getting down. You will become a problem for the society, and that is what he explored. So we'll talk more about these values and what further philosophers talk about. But before we start our meeting. So for the meeting, for the purpose of this meeting, Toastmasters is done in 3 stages. The first stage is the prepared speeches. Prepared speeches is a section where people come here, prepared speeches through their pathways, deliver them, and they practice and deliver them. The second stage is the table topic speech. And table topic speech is a very fun session where even guests get to participate. Here you have to talk impromptu on a specific topic, which will be given to you at that point of time. And the third is the evaluation. Evaluation is the evaluation of the whole meeting, as well as the speakers who came prepared. They have assigned evaluators who will be speaking. So let me introduce all of you to some of the role players who are playing the roles today. So for the first role, I'd like to call grammarian, Toastmaster Misha. She no introduction. Yeah, please introduce your role and what you're going to do. Oh yeah, not used to this.
Life is like grammar. You find life is like a grammar lesson. You find the perfect and the present tense. Only in grammar can you be more than perfect. Good morning, everyone. My name is Misha D'Souza, and today I am going to be the grammarian for this meeting. Now that I have flaunted, showed off, actually shared the importance of grammar, I would like to take you through my responsibilities as a grammarian. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to not so correct usage of grammar, to good usage of grammar, and also to the use of word of the day, which I will be sharing with you now. As the word of the day for today is nuance. Nuance. I have shared for the benefit of all the members who are present here. I'll share it on the board, and I will be sharing it in the chat box for all the members who are there online. So nuance means subtle or finer details. So the usage of this word is the evaluator tries to observe every nuance in a speaker's speech. Okay, so that is how evaluator works. I will be presenting the word of the day report and all the usage of grammar report throughout the meeting when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you.
Applause for our grammarians. Thank you for explaining the nuances of grammar and being a grammarian role player. Now, moving on to the next role player, we have role.
Hi Rakesh, I believe there's some internet issue on their end.
Yes, that's what I thought. I
Okay.
just pinged Vishal to check he was experiencing the same.
Yeah, they are back. They are back.
Yeah, I think they're back. But
Filler words like, like These words are filler words which affect the effectiveness of your speech. So you should be encouraged to avoid using them. And I'll be presenting my report when called upon by the general evaluator or Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, our counter. Next, we have is a role of keeping time. And for this role, we have a role player, a name before the name. He is an analytics working with top pharma company, playing cricket. He likes to play cricket and table tennis. And he is also an innovator or inventor. What do I say? Because he likes to build drones. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Bhikkhu Rajbar. I hope I am pronouncing him.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rohan, for introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Viku Rajwar. I've recently joined this club, Mumbai club. It's just a 2 weeks old. I'm going to play a timer's role today, and I would like to explain you the rule here. So here here so many people is going to speak. So first is speaker one and speaker two. So we're going to give a time for a speaker one is 5 to 7 minutes, and we're going to give a 4 to 6 minutes for a speaker two. And table topics we're going to give a time 1 to 2 minutes. So within the time limit we have to speak it. Speaks everyone, or I'll show that the red, yellow and green colors. If you reach the, so for example, if the speaker one is going to speak for a 5 to 7 minutes, if he reach 5 minutes, then I'll show the flag green. And if he cross the 5 minutes, then I'll show yellow. And if he cross the 7 minutes, then I'll show the red. So similarly, I'll show the flag for speaker two and table topics for everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. A big round of applause for a timer. He is very new to the club, so you should all have a thunderous applause for him. Now let's actually start the main thing, right? The main thing is about preparing speeches and prepared speeches. And for the first speech, we have Toastmaster. Before I call on the speaker, let me call on the evaluator, and the evaluator is Joydeep. Okay, oh fine. Toastmaster Joydeep. So now Toastmaster Joydeep is also does not need any introduction. He is standing up for district election. Make sure to vote for him. And yes, so please, I'll hand over to Joydeep.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you so much. I think I'm missing the action out there, but unfortunately there's some work, so I need to be at home. I'm really liking the atmosphere out there. And I'm really next time the joint meeting I'm in. Okay, so today we have target speaker Rakesh Ravi, who is attempting his level 2 project 1 from the Pathways Leadership Development. Timer, please know the time is for 5 to 7 minutes. The project objective, the purpose for Rakesh is to make sure that he present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the same feedback on the second speech. So for the audience who are here, so the guests specifically, the objective of this speech is going to be the feedback that is going to receive. You need to implement it again, repeating the same speech in the next or the same club. So that's the main purpose of this. And the notes for me as an evaluator, the responsibility would be to make sure that the speaker delivers a well-organized speech on any topic. Also, the member's speaking style need to be noted and recommend few improvement on the same. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style what Rakesh decides. And rest with that, all the very best, Rakesh. And I'll try to capture all the nuances in the speech that he's going to deliver. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster of the day, Rohan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joydeep. So now for this, I have a very long introduction, so please spare me some minutes. So our speaker is a banker by profession, 13 years of professional stint in banking industry. He's also EMBA, I'm not sure what that is, from SP Jain School of Global Management. Interest includes public speaking, playing cricket, tennis, or you can play with him. Also is a Netflix buff. His favorite series are Suits, House of Cards, Breaking Bad, I agree, and Lucifer. So, and when I asked him what is his, biggest value and virtue, he said he likes grooming new talent. Oh, wow, very interesting. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Rakesh Ravi.
Thank you. Thank you to your team of Toastmaster today.
Toastmaster Rakesh, before you begin the speech, let me say this. So Toastmaster Ravi, your speech name is Managing Time, right? Managing time, Toastmaster Ravi.
Okay. So first of all, before we start, am I audible? Am I audible, visible?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, may I start my speech? Is the timer ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So good morning, dear distinguished Toastmasters. And with a smile and enthusiasm on everyone's faces, I can already see that you're managing time effectively by participating in this meeting on a Sunday morning. So first of all, kudos to all of you all. I would like to begin this speech of managing time with an opening quote from Charles Buxton, a brilliant English parliamentarian, who says, "You can never find time for anything. If you want time, you must learn to make it." And I couldn't agree more to that. How many of us have had brilliant ideas, have conducted groundbreaking research, stepped onto the podium to deliver hallmark speeches, only to be stalled by that wretched buzzer? Eek. For our Toastmaster friends, all our creative ideas in crafting speeches lost to one buzzer. That buzzer is, my friends, is time. Time telling you to reflect on where you went wrong, not on your style of delivery, but on your effective management of time. As the saying goes, time and tide waits for no man or woman. And that, my friends, is true, as it truly doesn't. So first of all, what is time management? How do we manage an integral and universal part of the universe that has a universal law for all? Time management is basically a process of judiciously using the time on hand to allocate time effectively for all the tasks that a human can perform in a day. These could be doing daily chores, running errands, being a supermom, playing soccer, excelling at work and studies, you name it. All this in just a matter of 24 hours. We all have aspirations, don't we? We want to do many things, yet don't find the time. In a utopian world where humans can outrun time, one can accomplish all their tasks in a jiffy and still make time for many more with ease. But we don't live in planet Utopia. We live on planet Earth. So what does it take to manage time effectively on planet Earth? Now for that, let us look at the converse. That is, what are the main reasons for not managing time in an efficient manner, or the nuanced reasons for why we truly are laggards? The first one being procrastination. As the name sounds, procrastination is not postponing time. It is a willingness to do something effectively, yet finding many reasons of not doing so. Now, let me narrate to you a personal example. I was always a brilliant planner, but a terrible executor. I always wanted to play cricket at 6 a.m. with my friends, that before going to college. That was my desire and my willingness to perform a task. Yet, I found many reasons of not doing so. That is procrastination. Misalignment of priorities. Another culprit that acts as an impediment to effective time management is misalignment of tasks or priorities. This basically means you know what you want to do, but falter in terms of prioritizing. The result, a terrible execution of tasks, often leading to omissions or delay of important ones. And the third, most crucial, being lack of will. Yes, you heard it right. How many of us want to do something but question our own competence? I had that some time ago. I always wanted to do an executive MBA, it's EMBA, a few years ago, but lacked the will to do so. Maybe I was fretful of the competition that entails me, or maybe it was my own alter ego asking me to back down because I was so incompetent to do an EMBA with a cohort. In other words, I lacked the will. But guess what? Here I am all victorious with an executive MBA. So let our lack of will not be a precluding event to effective time management. Now, how do we surpass these and be an effective time manager? Let us look at the details. Block out any distractions. As they say, distractions are the cause of procrastination, is the effect. If you so desperately want to go out for a jog at 6 a.m. every day, block out the distraction of lethargy and set the ball rolling for the day. Create a planner to prioritize tasks. The method to a flawless execution is careful planning, detailing, and prioritizing. Rank activities throughout the day in a descending order, allocating a good amount of time to the most important task and less amount of time to the least important task. That way, you get to perform all your tasks on time without leaving anything behind. Make tasks a daily routine. There is nothing more meticulous in terms of effective time management than establishing a daily routine. Daily routines inculcate a set of discipline in us to perform all activities in a particular day on time. And the last most important is inspire yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, I can do it. That itself gets half the job done. And the other half is doing the job. So haven't we suddenly made the problem of time management appear a whole lot smaller? Here, I would like to give an example of Roger Federer, who wanted to be like Pete Sampras, watching him on TV every day, but lacked the will initially. And today, Federer's poster dawns the walls of every tennis enthusiast. Federer had the time then, but lacked the will. But today is everyone's inspiration. So friends, time is of the essence, and all of us have the will and the desire to achieve many things in our allotted time. So let's manage our time effectively and pledge not to be precrastinators or procrastinators, but rather punctual in our habits to manage time and yet manage quality. Because we have to do so much and so little time, time isn't the main thing, it is the only thing. I think it's about time. I hope I was able to manage time efficiently and yet be effective in delivering a nuanced speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rakesh, for the lovely speech and to again impart the value of time, which is very nice. Thank you, very well done. Now, for the next speaker, before the speaker, I would like to call his evaluator. And his evaluator is banker by profession, filled with zeal of life, and is always ready to jump on any evaluation role. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Rajesh Upadhyay.
Thank you. So, good morning all, those who are on VC and those who are present physically. So today my speaker, Amit, is going to attempt his icebreaker speech, and the objectives of the speech are: the member, he has to introduce himself, the club, and learn the basic structure of public speaking. I wish him all the very best. Timer, please note the timing is 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you. Thank you. Okay.
So before I call the speaker, it is customary that we all give a standing ovation when the speaker is done after the icebreaker speech. After the icebreaker speech is done. So, so for this speaker, I won't be introducing him because he will be doing that himself. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Ankit Podar. Amit Podar. Yeah. So Amit Podar, your speech, keep on marching. Keep on marching, Amit Podar.
Ready?
Good morning, everyone. So today I'm delivering my icebreaker speech, and I'm very excited and at the same time very nervous also. This is my first public speech, and very excited about that. This is the first time I'm getting this opportunity where two clubs are combined, and I'm delivering my speech in front of like my all fellow Toastmasters of two clubs. So before I start, may I ask you one question? How many are engineers here? Oh, so club is with full of engineers. So I think you can relate my story better because all are engineers. So my next question is: you have selected your stream by your own or it's by chance? By choice. So it's a mixed crowd. So I have so by profession I am a civil engineer. So I've taken this stream as a by chance. So after my graduation, after in my 12th, I've selected as a science, and only thing in my mind is to go for some professional course. So that time only two profession course were available. One is either you go for a doctorate to do your doctor, or the engineer. So after 12th, after completion of my 12th, one of my friend is pursuing for medical test. So I thought, let's try for doctor. Let's become a doctor because I'm influenced by the doctors because my maternal uncles, they all are doctors. So I borrowed one book from my friend. So like huge book for like to prepare for your medical test. I've prepared for 1 month. Just before the 1 month before the exam, I've gone through that book and I've given that exam. So I don't know what I've written in that 3 hours exam, objective exam, but I've given that exam, but never turned up, like I've never seen that result. So after when like after exam doctorate is over, so now during the engineering examination, so that time there was only one last seat available for me, and that how I got admitted in civil engineering. During first year of engineering, can you imagine first year of engineering and first semester, in out of 6 subjects, what was my result in first semester? Can anyone guess? Think it is 6. So I got 4 KTs, 4 KTs out of 6 subjects. So I thought, boss, already I have done my doctorate, engineering is also done. So I was like, it's not possible to complete my engineering. But as my topic says, keep on moving. So I never stop. Keep on moving, keep on doing my hard work. So in second semester, I thought like I have to clear my engineering. So second semester, out 6 subjects plus 4 KTs, I've cleared my whole 10 subjects in one go. So that time I got some confidence, I'll complete my engineering. So in my class, very few people, those who have completed their engineering in 4 years. I know, like you must, everyone can relate, right? So out of 60 people in the class, there were only 7 people who have completed their engineering, and I was one of them. So I've completed my engineering in 4 years. So main thing is like you should never stop. You should keep on trying, you will reach to your destination. So today I'm feeling like I'm a successful engineer. So after 15 years of my engineering, after 15 years, again, I thought to do some learnings, and I've joined my post-graduation diploma in finance management. So friends, when after completion of my engineering, after 1 year, I got married, and after one year, I was in the hospital because of my delivery of my wife. So you know who is the first doctor who comes in before the delivery? Anesthesia doctor. So anesthesia doctor went in. When he came out, I was sitting on the bench outside in the hospital. When he came out, we both were shocked to see each other. Are you, what are you doing here? Are you, what are you doing here? So he was the same doctor. He was the doctor whose book I have borrowed to do the pre-medical test. He become engineer. He become doctor by choice, and I became an engineer. So that's the how story is like. Some people are selecting their course by choice, and some people are getting it by chance. But the only thing is you will reach to your destination by keep on moving. So this is the message to everyone. Everyone is like, if you are driving on road, if you are going somewhere, sometimes you will not see the road, right? There are lots of up and down and lots of curve and all. You'll not see the destination. But only thing is, if you keep on moving on the road, you will reach to your destination. That's the message. So please keep on moving. So I think you people also, like, this is the like next stage of my learning. I joined Toastmaster to overcome my public speaking anxiety and to excel my public speaking. And I think we all are here for the same objective. And friends, this is the message to all. So please keep on moving, keep on learning. And with learning, you will grow. You'll reach to your destination. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit, for the lovely speech about the value of perseverance and persistence. He says, no matter what obstacles, keep moving on, even when you're driving. So keep moving on. Now, a couple of things. First thing is, let me add one more nuance to the grammarian thing, which is of this, that when the word nuance is used today, please either do this or show thumbs up. So both of either of them works, right? And short break. Okay. All right. So we are going to, because it's a very hefty session, to speech, very huge speech. So we are going to take a break. And before we take a break, I just want to talk about again a little bit about values, the theme. Again, just 1 minute of your time. So Friedrich Nietzsche, that's where I left. He go around to this topic and talks about that the new evolution of humans will be Übermensch, and Übermensch is a person who creates his own values. You see, he creates your own value and you stick by it. And if that values are in proper order, as in you determine, okay, these are the values I want, these are the values necessary for the society as well, and it is going to be a beneficial thing for me. He becomes an existence, which is also considered in existentialism philosophy, that he becomes an Übermensch. The only problem with this is the consideration, and the question to you is what you need to think is whether you can even create value. First, we need to ask ourselves that. So I'll leave you with this question, and let's move on towards the break. All right. So let's.
We are not able to hear
Hi,
clearly.
Rohan. Hi, Rohan. You need to wear your garland. The nice garland is missing.
Am I audible now?
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So I'm introducing your table topic master, who is an engineer, who is in second year of engineering in computer science. He likes Elon Musk. He also loves technology. And to do new things or to learn about new things, he has joined Toastmasters. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Shayansh.
Okay, so yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Toastmaster Shayansh, and today I will be conducting Table Topic Masters. So after seeing some fantastic speeches, we'll move on to our next session, which is Table Topic session, where I will be giving you some questions and you will be giving some impromptu response in return. So today our question is all revolving all around morals and values. So I would like to call upon timer to give timing guidelines for this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shans. So table topics will be for 2 minutes. Everyone had to speak around 1 to 2 minutes. It's a time limit. So I'll raise the flag. If you speak more than 1 minute, so I'll show yellow. If you speak more than two, then I'll show a red flag. Okay, right? Yeah. 1 minute, 1.5, and 2 and
So moving on, I would especially suggest guests to attend this session and just to bloom out of it. Okay, so who is the first one to attend? So anyone from online? Okay, so Toastmaster Vishal. Hey, so the question for you is, what do you believe are the most important values to live by and why? What do you believe are the most important values to live by and why? Over to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shreyans. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So there are a lot of values. Everyone would prefer their own set of values, but from my life experience, a couple of values that I would like to touch base upon is the first one is trust, right? Normally, we are living in this technology age wherein people have sort of dual personality, something they would like to show on the social media, for example, versus how they are in reality. So I feel it's quite important these days to have this trust factor established between ourselves. And uh, the other thing that brings value, I would say, is integrity. I know even integrity, we normally assume everyone is pretty integral, but it's very easy with so much distractions around us, and in sometimes in this game of how do I say in this race rather not a game in this race, sometimes people they try to take shortcuts but which may not be which may work out in the short term but may not be that good in the long run. So try to avoid shortcuts and work hard, try to have that integrity and try to build trust with people as often as possible. I know it cannot really build trust in a day or something, but sometimes situations you have to pressure test certain situations to be able to get the trust factor going. So with that, I would like to hand it over to our table topic master.
Very well said, Toastmaster Vishal. And now moving on, anyone from the guest would like to volunteer, like to participate? Yes, so Toastmaster Vijesh. Do you think people are inherently good or bad? Toastmaster Vijesh, do you think people are inherently good or bad? Over to you, Toastmaster Vijesh.
Before I start my speech, also speaking virtually about the scripts that and that's what I'm. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible. So, the table topic for me is do I inherently think people are good or bad? A very gray area, a very gray answer to it as well. Good or bad, as our Timot pointed out, is depends from person to person. It's not as if, my definition of good is same as someone else's definition of good. And my definition of bad is same as someone else's definition of bad. Something which can be good for me may be bad for someone else. So defining people as inherently good or bad, something which we shouldn't ideally do, because it depends from situation to situation. It depends on the life experiences this person has had. It may sound a bit melodramatic, but if you go on and watch some Bollywood movies of 70s and 80s, you would realize, the actor of the movie, he generally comes from a very poor family. And then they build an emotional story around it, stating that, even if he's going out and actually, using non-legal means to achieve his goals, that's good because life has put him in a very difficult situation. Well, that's a bit more melodramatic. What generally happens is, in life, you have a very gray area. A lot of times it's not black and white. So I wouldn't want to define people as inherently good or bad. It would more often than not be situational, how your situations are, how your experiences are. And basis that you will take a call. With that being said, there has to be a certain framework or certain values, right? As long as you are within that values, you are good with the system and system will take care of you. Over to you, table topic master, Toastmaster Shreyan.
Now, I would like to invite someone from Chetarati Club. So, who's up? Toastmaster? Okay. So, Toastmaster Ranga, question for you is, how do you determine what is right and wrong in a given situation? Toastmaster Ranga, how do you determine what is right and wrong in a given situation? Over to you, Toastmaster Ranga.
Am I audible for online as well? Thank you. It's a very profound question. How do we determine what is right or wrong? Thomas Rowan has been quite eloquent, and he went in the nuances of what is value. I borrow heavily from Yuval Noah Harari, the historian turned philosopher. He has written a book called Sapiens. I'm not sure how many of you have read. What has evolved, this value system itself is nothing but concept. I'm not saying good or bad. They are concepts nonetheless. They are myths. There's no physical reality about them. All this evolved because at some stage in evolution of human life, Homo sapiens are evolving. They broke away from rest of the mammals. Every mammal had an ideal size of crowd within which they have to move. And whatever they practice were for the benefit of the maximum number of the people. Before this cognitive revolution happened, human beings were in nomadic groups of about 100 to 140. But as we grew, our cognitive evolution ensured that we can manage much larger people whom we do not have a regular face-to-face connection. That's how the concept of myths, nothing good or bad about them inherently, but what works for a larger population? How can we support each other even though we have not seen each other? For example, the money is, we all value money, right? But it's not a physical reality. It's merely in the imagination. We buy things. Animals don't buy, like apes don't buy banana by paying 5 rupees. They just pluck and eat. So we created this situation. So if you ask me a question, what is right or wrong to decide? It depends on the context. What gives maximum benefit to maximum people? How do we maximize the benefit to the community? That has to serve. Again, there is no absolute right or wrong answer in this. Over to you, Mr.
Thank you for covering every nuances of this topic. So now this is a situation question, and I would strongly suggest guests to come from. So Toastmaster Milton, question for you is: you are in a meeting and a colleague takes credit for your work. How would you respond? Over to you, Toastmaster Milton.
So the question or the situation that I've been given is if a colleague takes over credit for the work that I have done. Okay, I think everyone who works in a corporate has come across such a situation from time and again where you've done the work and your colleague, your boss takes the credit. And it has happened with me as well. At the point of time when that happens in the moment, you can't do much because obviously that is happening in probably a meeting or an online conference call or something like that. So you just stay quiet. But it is very important to address that eventually with the person so that that behavior is addressed and that person does not do that to someone else. Of course, if it is repetitive, then you take it up the order. But what I have learned or have practiced is if this happens, then in a subtle way initially is to address that promptly, saying that, you address this or you brought this up in the meeting as something that you've done, or you use I instead of we, which probably did not go well with me or the team. So next time you probably want to use a pronoun of we instead of I. And also that, if there is a work that a specific person has done, like if I have done, you might want to also call out the name so that it motivates the person to continue doing the good job and not demotivate so that they stop and, not do that work going ahead. So that's how I approach this situation usually. Thank you.
Yeah, that was taken very well.
Now, next question is again a situation-based question. Yes. And so, Toastmaster Rajesh, your question is: a friend asks you to lie on their behalf. What would you do? Over to you, Toastmaster Rajesh.
So good afternoon or maybe the good morning. So the question is if I have to lie on behalf of my friend. Generally, I have done it a lot of time because what happened, we were the last bencher in our school. And at the time of recess, we used to go to have a drink. Drink when I'm saying to have a beer. So a lot of time we used to plug the class and we used to just go to bar and have beer. So one day what happened? I reached to class and my friend did not reach. And my teacher caught me and asked me, where is your friend? And I said, his stomach is very bad and he's in the toilet. Since morning, he's coming in and going, means he's in and out. So that was a lie which I told to my teacher. But there are a lot of lies we speak on behalf of our friends. Maybe we want to salvage the situation or we want to save the situation. And recently I have seen a video on YouTube also when a friend's wife called and he asked, where is your friend? just to check whether he's lying or he's having the friends with him. So, and he lied. He lied. But he was looking around his friend. And when he reached to his friend, he handed over the phone and said, okay, your wife had called. So I'm saying we friends just want to salvage the situation or to our friend when they are in a difficult situation. And we want to prove that we are true friends by telling lie on on behalf of our friend. That's so. Correct.
So I would like, guess, Pradeep, do you want to try? How do you think tech and social media are impacting our moral values and behavior? How do you think tech and social media impact our moral values and behavior? Over to you, Toshma.
Good morning to all. What I believe that every technology have the positive aspect and negative aspect. If we see broadly, we will find that it has more positive aspect. Then coming to the question, then how it is affecting it morally. It all depend upon if you go to Instagram and if you like one good story or whatever you are feeling, so you will see that all stories are coming to you in a positive way. But on the other hand, if you see, if you are seeing some negative story, so all these are coming to you. So it all depends, and we see that more and more what do we tell positive thing. If we are seeing, then it will come positive only. So I feel that it depends person to person. So this technology has this positive aspect also and negative aspect also. It depends the perception how we are taking it. Thank you.
So moving on, who would like to come up? Prashant. Yes. Is it possible to be a good person without having strong set of moral values? Over to you, Toshma.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. If you ask me, is it possible to become a successful person without having any moral values? I think it's not that possible. I think values like acceptance, patience play a big role in like achieving what you are aspiring for, because like life doesn't always go as you planned. Like you have planned for 10 or 20 things, but what actually happens in that situation, it completely varies, which it, your planning goes for a toss. And just another lesson is that like even if you fail once or twice, you should have that patience to come up and like uh, find out what mistakes we made at that time and come up with more better version of yourself and keep on trying. So that needs some patience, some acceptance of the situation, and not get demoralized so easily. Yeah, this is what I can say. Thank you.
Master Manisha, do you want to try? So as Sir Don Bosco had said, in every young person, a point of goodness is accessible. How do you think your parents helped you to build your moral values? Over to you, Toshmaster Manisha.
Now that the garland ceremony is concluded, I would now like to start. Can you repeat the topic once again? it will be very difficult for me to restrict to the time frame that is provided because my parents have been an integral part of what you see right now in front of you. The whole construct of Manisha Mishra is a lot of Mr. Sudhir Mishra and Mrs. Anita Mishra. That is the name of my parents. And I think one thing that I have understood from both of them when as I was growing up has been that one constant thing that they have said that even rings in my mind over and over again is to have a lot of compassion. People lack warmth in their heart. People lack being kind to another fellow human and always are evaluating people, whether it is basis social strata. Oh, this one got this kind of a car. Oh, that one is carrying a very fancy bag. Did you look at the brand that he or she was wearing? It's very important to step back from these filters that we place on us and on the people we interact with on a daily basis and try and connect from the heart. So that has been a very important lesson that I've learned from my parents and one that I will take to my grave.
I think parents play a very important role in building up our morals. So hands up who you think where parents are the major who have played role. I guess everyone. Yes. So do you want to try a question? Again, a situation based. You witness someone littering or polluting the environment. How will you approach him or her?
Beena. Beena.
Over to you,
Over your name.
Shreyansh.
Thank you, Shreyans. Good afternoon, my fellow Toastmaster. My topic is if I witness someone spoiling or polluting the environment, what am I going to do? Basically, I'm a nature lover and I love nature to the extent that I request everyone to keep the area surrounding clean. A few years back, I had been to Bhutan, and the country, as you know, it is famous for negative carbon dioxide. So what I saw there is the people of the country were taking utmost care to keep their surrounding clean. There were Indians like us who were, uh, we went to Tiger Hill and we were in a very sporting mood and we were trying to see all the places. And I saw my fellow passengers and travelers who were spoiling that place. I saw the people in the country, they politely, they did not even request them, but they were carrying bags. And whenever anything they saw lying down, any bags or anything, say biscuit packets and wrappers, they were they were collecting it, keeping in the bag. And that is something, touch my heart. And that is what we expect from our Indians when we see our own country we are spoiling, and we should learn from those people who are just our next door neighbors, and those people might not be literate enough, but they have inculcated the habit of keeping their own place clean. So after seeing that, I have taken that oath that whenever if anybody is doing it, I will definitely point out and I'll make that person to correct it. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this topic. I'm sorry.
Yes, and I think that after Swachh Bharat India initiative, lot of people have taken part in this step and cleaning. And there's also slogan: "Go green, go clean, go green." So now this is an open question, so anyone from crowd can come and ask. So, is there when you were a child or in your teenage, have you done a thing that was morally wrong and you have not shared with your parents, but now you have a chance to share it with us? So anyone from the crowd? Yes, anyone want to share? Do you want to share something or regarding this topic? Yes. Come on, think, guys. Anyone from the crowd? Good. Yes. Anyone? I told Master Village wants to. Come on, we don't need anyone. Yeah.
Yes, yes, may I say? Okay, we have someone.
In your teenagers, or you have done something morally something wrong, and you have not shared with your parents, but you want to share it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you do? Tushar?
Rajesh.
Over to you, Tushar.
Thank you. Thank you. So, anything that I have done morally wrong, right? That's the question. Well, I mean, there was an incident when I was a child, and I was playing in the park, and some other kids were playing, and they were swinging, and I did not notice, and that the person who was swinging went right over my head, and I felt a slight brush over my head. I did not realize that I'm hurt. I just went to this another place where I was playing, and I suddenly
We can't hear. Shreyans, we can't hear you.
Hi, folks. I think it's not audible.
Yep.
Maybe the headset battery has died or something.
I think,
Oh.
yeah, the battery must have died.
Even the camera is tilted now. Now it's okay.
All right, people on the Zoom, am I audible and visible? Just
Yes, yes.
can you? All right, excellent, excellent. Sorry for the wait. We were facing some technical difficulties, and now we are back, right? All right. So thank you, Toastmaster Shreyansh, for this lovely table topic session. It was an interesting session, and I want you all to appreciate the level of questions which were brought in, because it talked about the difficulties that we face. Okay. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for that. So let's move on with our session, because we are also short on time. Now we will move towards the third section, which is the evaluation section. For the purpose of the guest, the evaluation section is where we will evaluate the role players as well as the speakers who spoke. So we have set of evaluators who will be doing that. And to help me do that, let me invite, who's the G? Rajesh. Hello, yeah. So we have one of the IT profession who has more than a decade of experience in IT. He is also a Vipassana meditationer, and he loves public speaking and developing himself. Right. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Rajesh Ozada, General Evaluator of the day. Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So
feedback is the breakfast of champions. It's the feedback that we really need, because that is what helps us to develop. That is what helps us to identify what we should focus on, and that helps us grow, right? So there are certain nuances that we have to keep in mind when we are giving feedback to anybody. So you want to make sure that, especially when you are part of the Toastmasters meeting, there is a CRC method that we follow, which is the commend, recommend, and commend again. So end of the day, you want to leave the person with a lot of positives and a couple of constructive feedbacks that a person should focus on to improve. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to do my general evaluation. So as part of general evaluation, there are three segments. So the first segment is evaluation of the speeches, wherein I will call the evaluator to evaluate the speakers. The second segment will be the evaluation of the reports by the tag team. The tag means timer, counter, and grammarian. And then the third segment will be to evaluate the overall meeting, the way it was conducted, etc. Okay. So with that, we'll start with the first segment of the evaluation. So I'm going to invite evaluator one, which is Toastmaster Joydeep, to evaluate the speech that was given by Toastmaster Rakesh. So before that, timer, can you please give the timing guidelines? Yeah. Just take a seat. That's fine. Fine. Just take a seat. I will do it. It's fine. Take a seat. I'll take care of this. All right, guys. So on behalf of the time, so for evaluation, it is 2 to 3 minutes, right? So after 2 minutes, the timer will display the green card. After 2.5 minutes, it will be the yellow card, and then after 3 minutes, it will be the red card. There is a 30 seconds grace period, so we usually give 30 seconds grace, right? So given that those are the timing guidelines, I would like to invite Toastmaster Joydeep to give an evaluation for speaker one. So over to you, Toastmaster Joydeep.
Thank you so much, Rajesh. Can I see the timer cards? Okay, cool. That works. Thanks. So you're going to show me virtually that way. Cool. Thanks. Yep, that works. Okay, let me begin and capture all the nuances for my target speaker, Toastmaster Rakesh. What a beautiful speech, Rakesh. Managing time. I was like, I need to also look at my time and whether I'm delivering the evaluation on a proper basis or not. A beautiful beginning, appreciating the audience, whereas the audience gets the importance. You also started with the quote, and I like the fact that you came up with the buzzer sound. That's where you kind of created the picture and what you're going to deliver. So the audience and myself are also intrigued to listen what is coming for them. Time and tide waits for no man. Then another task, I think GIF is the word you used. I like the tone. There was high and low, and you gave importance by taking short pauses. There was equal clarity, language clarity was there, wherein you made sure the point you emphasize in every aspect of it. You took some small pauses and the voice modulation as well, which I think supplemented your story. Moving to the organization of the speech, time is important. You gave the importance of the time. You told about how time is important, how people should manage it. You also gave the pointers wherein we don't really give importance to the time and where we lack. For example, you talked about procrastination, and that somewhere is a flaw we need to work on. Then you move to a story that is for your executive MBA that you are doing and how you came to that journey. So there was a beautiful journey, and finally you had a very beautiful conclusion with showing your watch. That was a very beautiful gesture, ending the story in a very subtle manner. The vocal variety was apt. You made sure there was emphasis on the words so that that bit is highlighted in a proper manner. I could see a lot of enthusiasm because it was your speech, you owned it, and you deliver a very apt manner. These are the all commendations that I have for you. But to take your speech to the next level, these are the feedbacks that will enhance your speech. The recommendations. First, you had all the good gestures, but somewhere, because of that screen, it was getting cut off. So what you do is next time when you deliver the speech, try to move back or maybe stand and deliver. That will help you enhance your speech because you had the content, you had the objectives fulfilled, just that the body posture was not coming. And somewhere the body posture also enhances the words that are being used. Second, I would love to hear the personal story. You touched upon Roger Federer. He's also, I am a fan of his. I used to watch tennis because of Roger Federer. But somewhere I was also waiting that some story of Rakesh should come up. For example, it was a small, maybe you would have made up like someday I was late for my executive MBA lecture and my professor said, no, Rakesh, not possible today. But you made sure next time you're punctual. That's how you started managing your time. And that was a transformation which came to the picture. So that's like two recommendations from me. That's a beautiful story and you showcase what time management is. And finally, you ended up with a beautiful way and the style I liked. The time is over. I also believe my time is over for the evaluation. And with that, I hand over to the general evaluator, Rajesh. Thank you. I think your garland is missing, Rajesh, or it's on mute. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joydeep. It was a wonderful evaluation. It was very well done. There were a lot of commendations. It was fairly detailed. You highlighted all the good points, and the recommendations were very specific. So that really helps the speaker focus on it. So very well done, Toastmaster Joydeep. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Joydeep. Okay. Moving on. So I would like to move on to the second evaluation for speaker number 2. So may I invite Toastmaster Rajesh Upadhyay to give evaluation for Toastmaster Amit. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all, and the people on VC also, in particular to Amit. So, embarking a new journey is always challenging. And when you embark a new journey, you actually take a first step towards your goal. And it is imperative that we all take that first step. So we all know that it is very difficult when you come to podium and speak. And it is all the more difficult when it is your first speech. You have a lot of question in your mind or a myriad question of your mind that what to speak and what not to speak. But today, my speaker leave behind all the inertia of public speaking. And he learned few nuances of public speaking. The opening grabbed the attention of all the audience when he actually threw a question about choosing your profession by chance or by choice. I mean, it's choosing your profession for study. When speaker shared his story, whenever speaker comes to a podium and share his story, actually we all become part of his journey. We all become part of his life. And the speaker very clearly conveyed his message by his speech that obstacles are part of our life, but we have to keep on moving to achieve our goals in life. One more point which I noticed about the speaker, throughout his storytelling or throughout his speech, he has a smile on his face. And that resonates with the audience. If I have to suggest a recommendation, I would suggest that 3 words: practice, practice, and practice. That will take your speech to the next level. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rajesh. So, yeah, so as Toastmaster Rajesh gave the evaluation, so that was pretty good. Again, it was very well done. There were a lot of commendations and specific recommendations. A couple of things that I would have highlighted was his stage presence was really good. He was engaging the audience and he was making very good eye contact. So very well done. Great job. Let's give him a big round of applause. Can I get the timing taken by both the evaluations? And do we know how much time? You need this? Yeah.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rajesh. So we had two evaluators and both of them qualified. Toastmaster Joydeep took 3 minutes and 15 seconds and Toastmaster Rajesh took 1 minute 56 seconds and both of them are qualified. Over to you. Yeah. Oh, sorry. My. Don't we have a 30-second on, like only on the Toastmaster, like only for table topic, it's either side, right? Otherwise you have both the sides. So both of them qualified. Sorry for the confusion. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Brijesh. All right, nice. So now that we are done with the evaluation of the speakers, now we'll move to the next segment, which is the report by the TAC team. So I would like to start with the grammarian. So grammarian Toastmaster Misha, can you please share your report? All right, I will.
Am I audible and visible? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. And this has helped me a lot. Every time I play a grammarian role, I learn a lot. And that's why I'm always up for taking up this role. To begin with, I would like to highlight everybody who have used the word of the day. Thankfully, unlike the other meetings where I have used difficult words or so-called tongue twisters, people have not used my words. This time, people have used my words. So this is an accomplishment for me as well. So Rohan, Rakesh, Ranganathan, Shreyans, Joydeep, and Rajesh, thank you so much for using the word of the day. And hope we all have taken nuances throughout the meeting and learned a lot, and you will be taking away a lot of grammar today. Moving on, I would like to point out a good vocabulary usage, what we have learned today. Commendations, allocate, aspirations, accomplish, meticulous, precrastinators and procrastinators. This is something new which I learned. Eloquent, address the situation, salvage the situation, integral, construct, inculcate, furious, flaw, embark, and resonate. So these were really good usage of vocabulary today. Moving on, I would just share what is preferred. There is no incorrect or correct. I would like to share what is preferable instead of what has been said in the meeting today. It's like if you say I never, it's I never stop. It's not I never stops. I never stop. And you do not for a lot of time for impact we use the same phrase twice, but it actually decreases the impact of your sentences. So you just say keep on trying, or keep on trying. Saying it twice does not increase the impact. So you just say once, keep on trying. Moving on. Okay, so somebody said do my learning. Instead of that, you can say enhance my skills or enhance my knowledge. In the pretext of what the person wants to say, this was preferable that I would like to enhance my knowledge. Okay, to excel at public speaking is what is preferred rather than excel my public speaking. You excel at something, you do not add mine. Like I would like to excel at something. So that is what is preferred. Okay. Based on that and not basis on that. Based on that. If you say something, it's based on something and not basis. Okay. Better is actually, we have 3 degrees, good, better, best. So it's like positive, comparative, and superlative degree. So better is already better, more good. More good is better. The word for more good is better. So you do not say more better, okay? Because you're already using comparative. So more better is actually not incorrect, but it's better to not use it. Anyways, if you say better, it's imperative. It is indicative enough that you have you mean it's more good, okay? And you say embark upon. Embark upon a journey. Embark is always followed by upon. And okay, leave behind is like you say, leave behind and not left behind. Okay, I leave behind these memories or I leave behind particular things. Like left behind is used in a different context, but I am just trying to like elucidate the use in this pretext, which is left behind is not correct in this context. It is leave behind. Apart from that, we are good to go. And thank you so much for staying throughout. I really appreciate all of you. And I hope I have contributed something to all of you so that you could actually enhance your grammar skills. And thank you for adding to my grammar skills as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right. That was a very nice, very comprehensive grammarian report. So I think we also learned something from you. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Misha. And just one thing, right? When you were introducing, that was also pretty well done. Like when you were introducing the role, you made it your own. And that was very interesting for me. So let's give her a big round of applause. All right. So now let's move to the R counter report. So may I please request Toastmaster Bharti? Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rajesh, for giving me this opportunity. I'll present my report of our counter after going through the nuances of the speeches that were presented today. And this is my report. There were one major highlight of today's session was that there were no long pauses at all. So that is an achievement that we have made. And Toastmaster Tanmay had more than 5 sounds. Toastmaster Rohan had 2 sounds, 3 UC words, and was used 1 time, and so was used 4 times. Toastmaster Misha had more than 5 sounds. Toastmaster Rajesh Upadhyay had 1 sound. Toastmaster Bhiku had more than 5 sounds. Toastmaster Rakesh did not have any R sounds, no filler words. So a big applause for him. Toastmaster Amit had 5, more than 5 R sound, more than 5 so sound, so word used, 3 like, 1 you know. Toastmaster Shreyans had used so 4 times. Toastmaster Vishal had used 4 times, so 1 time. Toastmaster Brijesh had used more than 5 times, so twice, you know, twice. Toastmaster Ranga did not have any R sounds, no filler word. So big applause for him. Toastmaster Milton, guest Milton, had used R 5 times and twice and so once. Toastmaster Pradeep had used R 1 time, means 1 time, so 1 time. Prashant did not have any R sounds, no filler words. Big round of applause for him. Toastmaster Manisha had used R once. Toastmaster Beena used R 3 times, so 1 time. Toastmaster Rajesh Oza used R 4 times, so thrice, and as once. Toastmaster Joydeep used you know once only. So this is my report. Thank you, Toastmaster Rajesh.
Again, very nicely done, Toastmaster Bharti. So as an R counter, the job is to note all the R's and Ms and the filler sounds and the short and long pauses. So that was covered beautifully by Toastmaster Bharti, and she covered it for each and every person. So great job. Let's give her a big round. Okay, so now moving on to the timer. So in the process of the meeting, timer many times came to the stage and shared the guidelines. That was very well done. I think so. Given that the timer is playing this role for the very first time, I would say he did a beautiful job. It's wonderfully done. So let's give him a big round of applause. And I would encourage such people to keep on doing these roles multiple times because that helps us get polished in the role, right? So that was our tag team report. Now let's move to the overall general flow of the meeting. So before I start with the SAR, right? In general, I would like to appreciate both the clubs for bringing all of us together in a joint meeting, and especially given that it's a hybrid meeting, which is very challenging to arrange. So big round of applause to the Mumbai Speakers Club for arranging it. Something that we learn, and we will try to do something like this in future. With that, I'll move to the SAR. So Toastmaster Tanmay, I think he did a brilliant job. He started with high energy. He gave all the necessary instructions. That was done very well. So just a couple of things I will highlight. It was very apparent that we had a lot of technical difficulties. So as a SAR, it would really help if you would come half an hour early and then ensure that all the setup is in place, and whoever else you need for your help, just ensure that is done, because that way we'll have a smoother flow. But I would like to ask to give him a big round of applause. Then I'll move on to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Misha. So as a presiding officer, it's really important that you start with a theme, in that sense, like you give that proper story. So today's context was slightly different, and Toastmaster Misha did a wonderful job of covering that, so that everybody understands that this is a joint meeting. We are coming in together for the first time. So that context was set beautifully, and she took the opportunity to introduce all the guests. I was a bit skeptical because I was not sure if all the guests have been covered. So maybe you could ask, are there any more guests? Because I was actually not sure, right? But maybe Toastmaster Misha was. So yeah, wonderfully done. Let's give her a big round of applause. Okay, and then I'll move on to the table topic master. So Shreyansh, he did a wonderful job. It was so engaging. The whole session was so interesting, with so many interesting topics, and he encouraged everyone to participate, almost everyone, like all the guests and others who had not actively taken roles. He encouraged them to come on the stage and participate. That's how it should be done. So very well done, Toastmaster Shreyansh. Couple of things I'll highlight to take it to the next level, right? So one thing is there is a format in which we introduce the topic. So it's the speaker, topic, speaker. So every time we should try and follow that. And there was one more thing. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, just another thing was, grammarian already mentioned the word of the day, but it is also a good practice for a table topic master to come and again encourage everybody to use that word of the day. So those were the two things. But apart from that, an excellent job. Let's give him a big round of applause. All right. And then finally moving on to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rohan. So see, Toastmaster of the day is the most important role. It's the role to anchor the whole meeting, and Toastmaster Rohan did a great job of that. He engaged the audience multiple times with questions being asked, etc. He stuck to the theme, the morals and values, and that was really very well done. In terms of introducing all the role players, that was done beautifully as well. Just one thing that I realized, which is a feedback for Toastmaster Rohan, for me as a VP Education and for another VP Education, is when we are aligning the speakers, it's always better to align the more experienced speaker to come later, and the speaker who is speaking for the first time should be the first one to give the speech, because he's already under a lot of pressure. So if you put the experienced speaker first, it adds more pressure for the speaker, right? So that's a feedback for all of us. We should fix that whenever we plan a next meeting. But apart from that, excellent session. So a big thank you to Toastmaster Rohan. All right, and I think that was the end of my evaluation. So with that, I would like to hand it over back to Toastmaster Rohan.
All right. Sorry, yeah, I was in a discussion with him. I think we missed few things. One of those things is the timing reports of the speaker and the table topic speakers to see who qualified for the voting procedures. So kindly timer, whoever wants to come. Yeah. If you are okay, you're fine to come, right? Yeah, and so please do come.
Yeah. Hello everyone. So most of the people have qualified. So Vishal took 1 minute 55 seconds, and Brijesh took 1 minute 58 seconds. Pooja took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Brijesh, again the another Brijesh, I don't know. So he took 1 minute 29 seconds. Then Rakesh took 1 minute 41 seconds. And I forgot your name, sir. Pradeep. So Pradeep took 1 minute 0.9 second. And I also forgot your name. Prashant. Sorry. So Prashant took 1 minute exactly. And Manisha took 1 minute 20 seconds. Beena took 1 minute 52 seconds. And Rajesh took 1 minute 30 seconds. So most of the people have qualified.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, timer, for the report. And yes, pollings are up. All right. So the pollings are up. And how are we polling? Google Form. WhatsApp group, the common group. The common group.
Yeah.
Club group. Why have you not sent in the common group? Well, so, all right, fine. So Rajesh, please do it. Yeah.
Can I take my phone?
The posting room number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on my number. Oh, where is my phone though? Is it there? It's there. I have no idea where my phone is. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll share with. You have Rajesh's number?
No.
Oh, fine, I'll share it to you. Do I put it on the MIGS group? F2F में, but F2F में सब होंगे. Already everyone is there. Oh, okay, fine. I'm putting it on the F2F. All right, so the voting polls are up. Take 2 minutes of your time to vote for the best of big three, the best tag role player, the best evaluator, best prepared speaker, and the best table topic speaker. Toastmaster Ranga disqualified for the table topic speaker. Okay, why is he not there in the pool? Why is he not there in the pool? I wanted to vote for him. Toastmaster Ranga. So while we do that, we can just continue with the session, right? All right. So there are certain the poll of table topic speaker is being amended. And while we do that, let's continue with the session. And the session, I left you all with a question that whether you can even create values. So this comes from the book of Beyond Good and Evil, where he presents you this, that this is Nietzsche presents this thought that you can create values. And if you can create values, then this will be the evolution of people, how people are going to be there in the future. So what do you think? Can you create values? I want raise of hands at least if you believe you can create values. Or then who thinks that we can't create values, or create values already exists? Anyone? No one. All right. So, so the theme of this thought that values can be created was purported to be a very dangerous thought. The reason it was dangerous was because person bound, when the person believes that they have created value, it is very difficult to implement it in the normal day life, because we believe that humans 90% of time work in an automatic state. And during that automatic state, it is said that it is your values which are running your self, and only 10% of part where you are actually conscious when you try to implement it. That is why there is a cognitive dissonance which happens. This is very similar to the New Year resolution which we create, and then we try to follow it for 1 month, 2 months, and then it gets finishes. Very similarly, something about creating values happens very similarly. We decide that we will be honest, but after few times we find the need to be dishonest, whatever that need may be. And that creates the cognitive dissonance in us. So I'm not disagreeing with Nietzsche at all. I'm just saying that it is very dangerous and difficult to do that. Because once we do that, we also start to impart those values onto others. And this is what communists and fascists and a lot of other people, even while with education, this is what we are doing. What we are doing with the values which we feel that exist, that is what we try to impart to our children and everyone else. And that is what starts to create the problem. So what is the solution to this? I'm not presenting you any solution. What I will do is, a philosopher or psychologist named as Carl Jung specifically studied this. And what he went to the further approach and said that creating values is not possible. You don't create values, you discover them. Right? And I will get back to this once again. Before that, I would just like to use certain things which are spoken on the table topic session, and specifically about Yuval Noah Harari, who wrote the book Sapiens, right? So in his book, what he has mentioned that he has explored the aspect of that humans are just animals and we are nothing more than animals. And just because we can communicate, and then there was an agriculture revolution, and after that agriculture revolution where people stopped being nomadic and started living in that same agriculture land because they are plowing the land and generating their own food. Now they don't want to have to go to hunting anymore. So this is when the population increased because they are staying at one particular place. And this increase, when it happened beyond 150, then it was a problem for them to manage so many people because they said that it is impossible. Then the other thing Yuval Noah Harari explores in this is the gossip or nature of humans liking gossips. Humans love gossip, and during gossips, they created myths, which Toastmaster Ranga spoke about. And these myths included about the stories about gods and morality and all of that. And we saw that it is needed to keep them together. However, in the same book, they also speak about the tremendous nature of human while treating animals, right? Keeping cows on sheds, and if anyone has read the book, so they would know that how humans have done made animals sing. And the only reason we have a lot of animals in Africa and Australia because humans never reached there, right? So, but what it presents, you feel a pinch of heart when you hear all these things, right? What does it say? That there is something in you which likes it or dislike it about something, right? So let me be much more clear about this. So when I said that you discover values, how do you discover it? When you see the act of kindness, you felt something in you, something. Now this feeling is something which I am sure that everyone feels, right? And this is how you discover your own values as well. Because if you, let's say I create my values and then I don't act according to my values, I will feel like an imposter, like I do not know myself and all of those things, because your inherent values are different. And those values, what Carl Jung presents is that values already exist. It's just that you haven't discovered them as of yet. So there are a lot of stories about people who used to steal and are in prison, later on discover the value of, not stealing, about the property, that it does not belong to me and all of those things. He learns the value of this. And until and unless he discovered that, only after he discovered that, he actually changed. So even before, so when you try to create values, it creates a lot of problems and a lot of difficulties in you and the society as well, because it is a very dangerous thought and it has not been implemented. Because if you could create your values, you all would have already created it. Carl Jung says that you discover values, you like people who are kind, so you try to be kind. You see people that it's good to impart happiness, that's why you try to impart happiness. You're not just doing it to live in the society, but you're also doing it because it feels correct. And that in your consciousness is something which already exists, right? So now, since everyone believes that values can be created, so I won't say that it cannot. I'm saying that it is incredibly difficult and dangerous to create values, and try to find and see yourself, right? So this is how habits are also created. So you have a habit, you become conscious of it, and you start to break it. And you can either replace it with a new habit, and that new habit is something which you can create by doing repetitively. Habit is different from values. Values, you can't do values and create it. You have to actually know. And similarly, you will one day find that there are certain things which you want to do. No matter how much you want to do, you're unable to do it, right? And you need to look within yourself that whether you actually want to do it. Half of the time, the answer will be no, that you actually don't want to do it. You are forcing yourself to do it. Like most of us force ourselves to do engineering, like the question which was brought upon ourselves, because it might be a career which pays or has a social reputation, right? But if you actually think of it, and if you had given some time about what you have to do, explore various ways, you might have actually found that this is maybe you are interested in literature, maybe you are interested in something which does not pay well, but you don't have to do it. You can still do engineering. Now you know that you are interested in literature and all of these things as well. Very similarly, values work. This is what Carl Jung said. So now I present this thought to you. I ask you to see, find yourself, look within you. There's a guidance system already there within you, which knows what is correct and what is wrong. And that is what the value is. And that becomes the guidance of our theme, which is the lighthouse within, because that is what will guide you in future. And it is very important, because the more you start discovering and realizing what your values are, the more you will be able to stick by it in your automatic phase, where you work automatically, when you wake up and still move on to do things, and you don't have to put a conscious effort towards it because it's automatic. This is how values are run. So this was the theme for today. Thank you, everyone. I am Rohan Gupta, litigator turned engineer, and a philosopher, engineer turned litigator, and also I'm a philosopher by passion. So thank you, everyone, and I will hand over the session to Brijesh, but I discussed with, where is Brijesh? Yeah, discussed with Brijesh that I will be taking over as the presiding officer as well. So because I wanted to have certain words with the club. So now, taking on the mantle of presiding officer, let me make few things. First of all, the joint meeting. Thank you, everyone, for coming. A big round of applause for all the crowd. A big round of applause for the technical team, whoever all supported, for all and all on that team. So joint meeting, what I love about joint meeting is simply this, that oftentimes we become comfortable looking at the same faces we see in our own clubs. So now sometimes the mistakes that we are actually improving, but we are actually getting comfortable with the people around here. Joint meeting always makes us experience with new faces, new people, and brings us out of comfort zone, right? That is point number one. Point number two is that we also get a very variety of experiences, knowledge, and stories which we have not heard, faces, meet new people. So that is always lovely. Networking. See, one more thing which I personally, as a Toastmaster, have believed that we are not, as a human or even in the business, we are not in the business of creating things, building things. We are in the business of creating and building relation with people. We sell and make relations with the people. That is what we do. We buy and earn not products, but people. And joint meeting helps us do that. So thank you everyone once again for gathering. Now I was asked to call not Toastmaster anymore, but Manisha Mishra. Is her name? Urmila, who is Manisha Mishra? You're Manisha Mishra. Oh, all right. Sorry. So Manisha, please on the stage and have feedback for the club and for both the clubs. Yeah, I'll give you the columns.
Thank you. We should have some aesthetic music along with the technical team. Please note, it'll call for a good meeting. It's very overwhelming to see a club that I've chartered come this far. Last meeting, I attended the 100th meeting, and I was it felt very warm in my heart to see a club jo ittu sa tha has become like 100th meeting, and it just surprises me on how the club has taken off and is going bit by bit to places. I think there are still some nuances which we can do better as a club. I'm sorry, grammarian, for not using the word of the day earlier in the meeting. But there are still a few nuances that we can look to, or rather habits that we can look to inculcate. One is starting on time, being creative. The Toastmaster format itself makes us very unidirectional. Apologies, I know you are an experienced Toastmaster, but there are ways that we can be creative in a Toastmaster meeting, try out new formats. Technical glitches are here to stay. They happen in office, they will happen in your Toastmaster meetings. How can you interact, engage the crowd more rather than make them irate with the way? That is something that I learned when I had started doing meetings and the projector just would not start. And I had MDs waiting up in the room. We had to be creative. They still had to walk out of that meeting with a smile. Let's see if we can be creative. I'm there to attend some of the meetings and help wherever and however possible. But it's great to see. Apologies for naming, but it's really great to see Misha grace the stage as president. We've shared some very finer philosophical moments and conversations being in the Toastmaster construct. Sometimes it makes you very protocol oriented. So that wasn't her style, that wasn't mine. It resonated and we exchanged and compared notes. So thanks, Misha, for keeping the spirit of non-protocol a beat in the... Is Sudha still there? She's going to kill me for saying non-protocol.
Hi, Manisha. I'm there. I'm listening to you. And by the way, you didn't see my chats. I've supported your cause always. That's something you have to take into consideration. Lovely to see you back again.
Thank you.
I think Misha's
thank you.
Working. Keep it up.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and I shall see you in the next meeting as well.
For everyone's benefit, I think you should be calling Manisha quite often. I am seeing Manisha after quite some time. because the time I started my journey, I used to see Manisha in JP Morgan Malad. So it's like after ages I'm seeing her. So it's great to see you on stage, Manisha.
Yes, and we have few more guests, so we'd like a feedback from you as well. So, Milton, please come on the stage and give us the feedback about how you liked the meeting, what you liked, what you didn't like. I'll give you the garland as well.
Okay, so this is my second meeting. The first one was last week online. So I was looking forward to the offline more as well. And it was enjoyable. And I was not expecting the two clubs together. I didn't even know that happened. And we were not informed, at least the guests were not. So I didn't know. I wasn't prepared. But again, not being prepared is also good sometimes because you get to take in a lot more. If you come with a fixed mindset of expecting something, then that's not right, I feel sometimes. So it was good, enjoyable. Yes, the technical glitches kind of extended our session by a few minutes. Overall, I enjoyed, like I mentioned last week as well, I joined Toastmasters not expecting anything, not knowing anything. What I enjoyed and what I liked is it's very, like Manisha said, protocolish, where you keep a tab of the time, grammar, R counter, etc., which is very good. And then you get feedback also. So all in all, a lot more than I had expected when I joined Toastmasters. So I'm enjoying myself and I look forward to a lot more meetings and sessions like this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Milton. Pradeep, please. Hi, Pradeep. Hope you enjoy the meeting. Please give us your feedback.
As I told, I was not aware the concept of Toastmaster. Recently, I think last week only I know what is Toastmaster. Actually, I'm a bit nervous. I have not experienced such a platform where I can speak in front of people. So it is a good opportunity. Then coming ahead, I will join more and more this meeting, and I will learn from you all people. So this is my feedback.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster is always a platform where you learn, and you always get to experience something new. For our club, this was the first time we tried hybrid meeting, right? At least that's what we saw. So we were unaware of how to manage the technical mishaps. We certainly will learn, and hopefully we can do more future joint meetings so that we get to learn about how to handle all of these things as well and be prepared for it. Now moving towards the results, I will call the VP Ed Toastmaster Brijesh. Do you want certificates? We have few of them. But they are not all, so just see. And click this.
Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Rohan. And yes, we'll surely learn the nuances of how to manage the technical glitches and ensure the audience is not bored during that time. Coming back, we've completed the meeting. So we had fantastic prepared speeches. We had table topic sessions. We also had evaluation. And now the last thing is, rewarding people who've done well and encouraging them to improve upon themselves so that they become a better version of theirs. So I'll start with the best prepared speaker. It goes to Toastmaster Rakesh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you, Toastmaster Rakesh. Whenever you come on stage, we know that we will expect something magical. And today as well was a similar day. So thank you. And by the way, everyone, he's our nomination for the Kahani contest. So he'll be going to Gujarat. And we would love if Chattereddy also supports us on the social media round. Yeah, so that's a marketing pitch. Yes. Best table topic speaker. I don't know, I should call her the guest or I should call her the founding president, but she is Manisha. Best evaluator, it's Toastmaster Joydeep.
Thank you. I'll make sure next time I come in person.
Definitely, we'll share the e-certificate with you.
Thank you.
And by the way, making a pitch for Joydeep as well. He's also running up for elections. So President and VP at like ensure you help him out. Next, we have the best tag role player, and I thought joint meeting might change it, but it is grammarian Misha. Like, and the final one, best of big three. Like, any guesses? Yes, it is Toastmaster Rohan. So I think we have the big three here, so we can. No, we don't. Anyways, we'll share virtual certificates with everyone. So thank you for attending this joint meeting. I think we just bounced this idea of like me and Rajesh last Sunday. During Wednesday, we're deciding I even don't have the team on, you also don't have the team on. Let's just see kya hota hai. If no one picks it up, that's what I told him. If no one picks it up, I'll take the team on me. He said the same, Brijesh. If no one picks it up, then I'll do it. But we had our president of Chattereddy taking up T-Mod and inculcating us, importance of values. So a lot of learning for us. Thank you, everyone. I'll close the meeting for the day.